Welcome back to Mrs. Swisstack's Art Room on the Couch. Today is part 3 of our Simply Shading tutorial. Today's supplies, you will need your shading worksheet from our last tutorial, your blending tool, whether that's your fancy blending tool, a Q-tip, or your finger, and a regular pencil. Before we start shading our cube, let's observe the cube pictured here. Notice that one side of the cube is completely in shadow and it's pretty dark, while the other two sides are fairly light and gradually fade from dark to light. Notice also that the shadow cast transitions gradually from dark to light, being darker under the cube and getting light towards the edge. For today's activity, we are going to shade our cube right over here. Now before we start shading, I want you to notice the shape coming out from underneath your cube. That's the shadow cast, and it is telling you that this side of your cube, that's going to be the darkest side. So you're going to use your pencil on its side and you're going to fill it in nice and dark, kind of like we did with our first block on our grayscale. And when you're done, don't forget to use your blending tool to blend it nice and smooth. So now that I have my shaded side all nice and dark, I'm going to do the other two sides. I'm going to start with my pencil on its side. I'm not going to start out as dark as I did with my shaded side, a little lighter, and then as I go across the face of my cube, I'm going to gradually get lighter and lighter as I go along. I'm going to do the same thing to the top part, and then I'm going to use my blending tool to smooth it over. As soon as I'm finished, I'll be right back. So here you can see me shading my cube on its remaining sides, starting out a little bit dark and then gradually fading over to the light, and now I'm using my blending tool to smooth my shading together. As soon as I'm complete, I go down to the shadow. I start out darker where it's nearest the cube, and as I get out to the edge of the shadow cast, I get a lot lighter, and then use my blending tool to smooth it all together. And here you can see my shaded cube is complete. Now for a little additional bonus practice, at the bottom of your worksheet you'll notice an area for you to practice some gradual transitions from dark to light. So just use your pencil and your shading tool to give that a try. I hope you enjoyed our final Simply Shading tutorial with Mrs. Swisstack and her art room on the couch. Stay well, stay safe, and create art.